So this DVD is basically a summary of the entire program. So what the entire 6 DVD you've got in your hands, this is a summary of all of them. If you want, you can either go through this entire DVD and then begin to implement the stuff one by one, or the best way to go about this program is to go DVD by DVD. The first 2 DVD focus on the fundamentals of how to increase retail sales with store design and visual merchandising display. The third DVD focus on store design. The fourth focus on visual merchandising display. And then the fifth and the sixth is about loss prevention or profit protection, how to increase your store profit. A few days ago, I was listening to an interview by Philip Clark. Philip Clark is the CEO of Tesco. They were kind of drilling him about the situation with Tesco profit. For the second year running, Tesco have had a reduced profit. And they were asking him what was the reason for that. Because under his predecessor, Sir Terry Leahy, Tesco was flying, was the most profitable retailer in the country and the second most profitable retailer in the world. Now all of a sudden, Tesco is losing grounds to other retailers. And they were trying to find out what was the reason, putting pressure on him to resign, that he's not capable of doing the job. And he gave 3 reasons why he thought Tesco was having problems. The first one he gave was the economic situation. The second one he gave was competition. And the third one he gave was the internet. Now he said with the economic conditions, people, of course, buying power have reduced. And because of that, people are not buying as they used to buy before. The problem with that is the luxury market, the luxury retail market has remained stable. Heck, they've even increased despite the economic situation. Even in countries like Greece and Portugal and Spain, where the countries were almost going bankrupt, the luxury retail industry were still growing. Then you have the same situation with even in the UK, when retailer after retailer was going out of business, the luxury retail market was still booming. So the idea that there is a situation with the economy, and because of that, people's buying power has reduced, does not seem to be reflected in the luxury market. I know people might say, well, whatsoever the economic situation, the rich continue to become rich. But that's a political answer. That's not the reason behind why the luxury retail market continue to flourish despite the situation. I gave a detailed answer of that reason in the entire training. But just a brief answer, the fact of the matter is the luxury retail market continue to succeed because they understand their target market better than other retailers. Mr. Clark also spoke about competition. He said Lidl and Aldi and then Waitrose are kind of assaulting Tesco's customer base. Well, it's almost like a news to me because even when his predecessor, Sir Terry Leahy, was Tesco CEO, Lidl's were still existing, and Aldi was still existing, and Waitrose were existing. So why is it that despite the fact that these retailers were still in existence, Tesco was still the most profitable retailer in the country? So basically, competition is not an excuse. Well, he is just using it as an excuse, but it's not a reason why Tesco is having problem. Because these retailers were existing before and Tesco was still able to beat them. You talk about the internet. Well, the fact of the matter is, the internet is here to stay. Just 2 weeks ago, it was reported that Next managed to beat Marks and Spencer's in profit for the first time in the 32 years history. And the reason why they were able to defeat Marks and Spencer's was because of A, their home directory, and B, their online business. So there is one retailer, I'm sure there are a lot of other retailers that are succeeding from the internet, why Mr. Clark is using the internet as an excuse for Tesco's problem. Now, why did I decide to start this summary with Tesco issues? It's not that because I don't like Mr. Clark, I've got nothing against him, but there is something very interesting about the situation in Tesco now. Because what you have in Tesco or what you have in Mr. Clark is what is pervasive in the retail industry. When retailers are facing problems, when they're going out of business, when they're going into administration, they're quick to blame difficult trading conditions. They are quick to blame the economy. They are quick to blame circumstances beyond their control. When the reality is, whatsoever the economy, whatsoever the situation, people will still buy. People will still eat. It doesn't matter what is the situation. People will still wear clothes. The question is, where will they go to buy? And as a retailer, this is the question that you need to answer. And this is the question that I want to answer in this program to make your store the choice of retailers. Because it's about choice. You see, what Mr. Clark and what most retail CEOs fail to understand is that the retail environment has changed. The retail environment of 5 years ago or 10 years ago is not the same as the retail environment we have now. People go to retail stores for different reasons than they used to go to stores for 5 or 10 years ago. Now, the problem Mr. Clark is having and the problem most retailers are having is they've not connected the dot. They've not understood that, look, the environment is changing, therefore they have to change with the environment. I'm going to use Tesco as a typical example again. In his book, The One Thing You Need to Know, author Marcus Buckingham said that when he interviewed Sir Terry Leahy, the guy who actually made Tesco the best retailer in the world, he asked him, how did you do it? How did you take Tesco from a local brand to one of the biggest retailers in the world? And he said when he inherited Tesco, the first thing he did was ask himself the question, who do we serve? He said that was the problem Tesco was facing. What he saw that was Tesco did not have a specific direction. Tesco was serving a lot of masters, and because of that, it did not have a customer base. So he asked himself, who do we serve? And when he answered that question, that okay, this is the market we're serving the ordinary Joe, then they created mechanism to serve that specific target market. And he was asked, what exactly did they do? And he said what they did was, they understood that, okay, the guy who they were serving is a guy who will want to leave his office in the middle of the day and rush to the supermarket to buy his lunch. Now, this guy does not want to be stood online for half an hour or for 15 minutes waiting to pay for his lunch before going back to his office. At that time, at which time his lunch might be over. He wants to be able to drop in and drop out. So what they did was to put a lot of checkout in all Tesco's to ensure that to increase the speed with which people enter the store and then leave from there. And this is a very, very important thing that I want you to look at, because this is what this training is all about, and this is how you are going to increase your store sales. What he did was, first of all, ask the question, who do we serve? Because in order for you to increase your store sales, you've got 3 questions that you need to ask yourself. The first question you need to ask yourself is, who are we trying to serve? Who are we trying to sell to? Just like Sartre Renoué asked the question, who do we serve? That is the first question you need to ask. The second question you need to ask is, what are we going to sell to them? And the third question you need to ask is, how are we going to sell it to them? You see, marketing is about the 3M. It's about your market, your message, and your media. What that means is you need to understand who is your market, who am I going to sell to, and your message, what am I going to sell to them, or what am I going to tell them, and your media, how am I going to do it? You might be thinking to yourself, okay, you are in a retail business, but don't forget you are selling. And in order for you to increase your sales, you need to know how to sell. You need to know who your customers are. That's the first question you need to answer. And you need to know what you are going to sell to them, and then how you're going to sell to them. This is why in this program, I focus on store design, visual merchandising display, and loss prevention. Because you see, this is exactly what Sartre Renoué did. He focused on who we are going to serve, and then he designed Tesco to appeal to the people he wanted to serve. Most of the time, what you find in the retail industry, they design the store, display their goods, and expect people to come there. And what he did it backward. And this is what most successful retailers do. They do the opposite. They first find out who they want to serve, and then design the store and display the product to attract these people. And then they focus on profit. Tesco benchmark under Sartre Renoué was 5.2% of profit every year. And this is why Tesco was the second most profitable retailer in the world and the 4th most profitable business in the UK, because he focused on profit. And how you get profit in retail? To get profit in retail, you need to increase your sales and then reduce your shrinkage. So basically, this program is focused on basically 3 things. We're going to focus on how to design a store to attract customers to your store, how to display your product in such a way that entices them to enter the store, and then about profit, how to reduce your shrinkage to increase your profit. Now I'm going to walk you one by one again through this summary on what we discuss in each CD, so that as you go through them, it becomes easy for you to choose which CD to listen to first. So if your situation is about store design, you go directly to CD 3 and focus on store design. If your situation is about visual merchandising display, you go to CD 4 and focus on visual merchandising display. Or if your focus is on loss prevention, how to increase your profit, you go to CD 5 and 6. But I will advise that whatsoever the situation, you need to go through CD 1 and 2 first of all. Because what CD 1 and 2 gives you is a basic, is a fundamental of how to increase sales, because you need to understand the psychology. When you understand the psychology, then it's easy for you to focus on the technique. Because without understanding how people think, why people do things, whatever technique you implement, it's not going to work. But like I said, I'm going to go through now each CD for you one by one, just to break information down for you, and then so that it makes it easy for you to choose what exactly is it, where to start, which one of the CDs you want to start on first of all.
If you think this is powerful information, you're right. It really, really is. However, if you combine it with other strategies, you can really compound the effectiveness of your effort of increasing your store sales. For example, if you knew lead generation, how to get shoppers into your store, lead conversion, how to get them to buy once they're in your store, customer retention, how to ensure they return after the first purchase, you will skyrocket your store sales in a very short space of time. Let me just quickly explain the benefit of the conversion process. Most of the time, the problem with increasing your store sales does not lie with getting shoppers into the store. Depending on your location, you could get as much shoppers as you like to enter your store. The problem is many of them enter and leave without buying. Now, why is that the case? The reason for that is you have not deliberately choreographed your sales process. What do I mean by choreographing your sales process? Research was done in which it was revealed that 75% of shoppers said they only saw 25% of products on display in retail stores. Now just think about that. 75% of people entering your store only see 25% of your merchandise. Just imagine the difference it will make to your sales if instead of your customers seeing only 25% of your merchandise, they instead see 75% of your merchandise. This is what choreographing your conversion process is all about. If you learn how to choreograph your sales process using the best merchandise display strategies, it will ensure your customers see all of the merchandise on display in your store. If all of this sounds interesting to you, then you will really enjoy our How to Increase Retail Sales Home Study course. How to Increase Retail Sales Home Study course will show you how to attract customers to your store, retain them for longer in the store, persuade them to buy, and trigger automatic repeat sales. So you can increase your store sales, which will result in increased profitability for you, providing you the resources to enjoy the freedom for which you started your business in the first place. You'll no longer need to worry about money to buy stock, and you'll not have to work 10, 15 hours a day, 7 days a week, and still not be able to afford a holiday. Here's how the How to Increase Retail Sales Home Study course works. In Module 1, I walk you step by step through the process of identifying your target market, who you're going to sell to, your marketing message, what you're going to sell to them, and your marketing media, how you're going to sell it to them. In Module 2, you learn the step-by-step process for designing a beautiful storefront that attracts customers as they walk past it. Module 3 walks you through the process of creating an attractive visual merchandise display that makes it possible for shoppers to see all of the merchandise in your store to persuade them to buy. And Module 4 deals with profit, how to reduce your shrinkage and increase your profit margin. Most retail training programs charge hundreds of pounds to teach you theories that have no practical application in the real world of retailing. Worst of all, many retail training programs are taught by either professors who never once in their life stood behind a store counter, or people who themselves failed at retailing. Now, how can someone who failed at something show you how to succeed in it? This is not because they are bad trainers who want to deceive you, it is simply because they do not know the fundamentals of increasing retail sales. There has never been a retail training program that combines store design, visual merchandising display, and loss prevention, because no other retail consultant knows how to combine these three to increase retail sales and profit. This is the first time in retailing history that the retail training program has focused on increasing retail sale and profit with a combination of store design, visual merchandise display, and loss prevention. Secondly, there is no other retail training around at this moment that shows you how to identify your target market, who you're going to sell to, your marketing message, what you're going to sell to them, and your marketing media, how you're going to sell it to them. Because not a lot of retail trainers know anything about sales and marketing. You cannot increase sales if you do not know who you're going to sell to. Neither can you increase sales without knowing what you're going to sell to them or how you're going to sell it to them. Shoppers these days buy for different reasons than they used to buy years ago. Unless you know these reasons, you will not be able to get them into your store. The How to Increase Retail Sales Home Study course was designed for retailers like you who cannot afford to spend thousands of pounds to hire experts. Imagine how much it would cost you if you had to hire a retail consultant, a marketing expert, a visual merchandiser, and a store designer. With the How to Increase Retail Sales Home Study course, you'll have in your hands a marketing expert, a visual merchandiser, a store designer, and a retail consultant all in one. If you were to hire all 4 of those professionals, which is what you'll need to do to increase your sales and profit, you'll shed out a minimum of £10,000 or even more, depending on the size of your store. But don't worry, you're not going to be paying £10,000 for the How to Increase Retail Sales Home Study course. You're not even going to be paying £5,000 or even £1,000. As a special pre-launch offer, you can order it today for only 3 payments of £337, or you could make 1 payment of £797. However, if you order now before the product is launched, I'm going to give you an even bigger discount of £597, and you can even get it with 3 payments of £197. Or you can get a huge discount by just making 1 payment of £437. Now compare this investment to £10,528 for Open University retail training, or £2,000 for 4 days Oxford University retail management training, and an average of £300 for various retail trainings with not a single one as in-depth as the How to Increase Retail Sales Home Study course. Okay, I'm going to give you an unnecessary guarantee, which I know you'll not need since I'm confident of the enormous value you will derive from the course. If for any reason in the first 12 months of purchase you feel you have not gained valuable information that results in increased sales and profit for your store, just request a refund and we'll process your refund, no questions asked. Now let me repeat my guarantee to you again. You have 12 full months to decide. Any time within the first 12 months of purchase, you can request a refund. If that's not enough for getting you to buy today, I also want to give you my book entitled How to Make Profit in Retail for free. In the book you will learn Store Design Blueprint, how to design a beautiful but profitable store, Visual Merchandise Display, how to create an attractive visual merchandise display, how to increase retail profit with effective loss prevention strategies. You'll also get 2 hours free Skype consultation with me. Yeah, me personally, not any of my staff. During the consultation you'll be free to ask me any question relating to your store. In addition to the 2-hour Skype consultation, I'll also come out to your store to provide you free 2 hours on-site consultation. Depending on your location, you might need to pay for transportation. This offer is only valid till the program is launched, so take advantage of it now, because when it's launched you might have to pay the full price. Besides, if you buy today, you're still entitled to all of the bonuses including my visit to your store. You would help me increase your sales before you even receive the home study course. So here's what you're going to get today. A How to Increase Retail Sales with Store Design and Visual Merchandise Display home study course. And this home study course will show you how to attract customers to your store, retain them for longer in the store and persuade them to buy. And also trigger automatic repeat purchase, so you can increase your store sales and profit and gain the freedom with which you opened your store. The retail price of the training is £1,997. However, as a token of my appreciation for taking your time to watch this video and read my sales letter, you can order it today for only 3 payments of £497. Or you could make 1 payment of £1,297. However, if you order now, I'm going to give you an even bigger discount of £997, and you can even get it with 3 payments of £337. Or you can get a huge discount by just making 1 huge payment of £767. The package contains 7 DVDs, 7 audio CDs and a workbook. You'll also be entitled to the online version as well. When you order today, I will give you my book entitled How to Make Profit in Retail for free. In the book you'll learn Store Design Blueprint, how to design a beautiful but profitable store, Visual Merchandise Display, how to create an attractive visual merchandise display, how to increase retail profit with effective loss prevention strategies. You'll also receive a 2 hours free Skype consultation directly with me, not any of my staff. And in addition to the 2 hour Skype consultation, I'll come out to your store to provide you free 2 hours on-site consultation, even before you receive the course. If for any reason within the next 12 months you think you have not gained valuable information that will help increase your store sales and profit, just request a refund and we'll process your refund, no questions asked. Yeah, you heard me right, you have 12 full months to decide. Now, if at any time within the first 12 months of purchase, your cat jumps out the window or your dog refuses to eat, and you decide to request a refund because of that, we'll process your refund, no questions asked. This offer is only valid for a short period, so take advantage of it now, so that you do not miss out on this amazing offer. So go ahead and order your home study course now, by clicking on the link below this video.